Alright, hey y'all, Austin here, and I'm entering Bill's 100 subs contest. He is the Vinylverse. He really likes jazz, blues, prog, classic rock, and a whole lot of Genesis. So I highly recommend you check him out. I'll leave a link to his channel below. And yeah, he's asked, I think, 3 questions. Yeah, 3 questions, and I'm gonna dive right into them. Number 1 is show at least one of your favorite live albums. Feel free to show more. I have a lot more, so bear with me. Get your yayas out. The Rolling Stones in concert. Mick Taylor era Rolling Stones is absolutely phenomenal, and I think this is one of the best live albums of all time. Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, live in London. I think this is probably the best live album in the past 20 years. I love it. It's just hardcore rock and roll. Bad Company, live 1977. This came out, I think, last year, maybe 2 years ago. And I really like this album because it was recorded at the Summit in Houston, Texas, which is where I live. But it's pretty much Bad Company at the height of their fame in the late 70s, and they do most of their biggest songs they're well known for on here. Burning Sky, Ready for Love, Shooting Star, Moving On, Good Lovin' Gone Bad, Feel Like Making Love. All those are on here, and I think these are better than the studio versions personally. Lynyrd Skynyrd's One More From the Road. This front to back is just a typical 76 Skynyrd set. They didn't mix it up a whole lot on their live shows. So it starts off with Working for MCA and I Ain't the One. Then it goes through, Searching, Tuesday's Gone, Saturday Night Special, all those jams. Freebird is what it ends with. This is where the live, 13, 14-minute version of Freebird comes from, which is exceptional. But my favorite song on here is actually, they cover the Robert Johnson song Crossroads, but they do basically a cover of the Cream version of it, and Alan Collins does the solos that Clapton does, note for note, and I love it. I think it's absolutely flawless. Tame Impala's live versions. This was a Record Store Day exclusive. Just cool, modern, psychedelic rock. It's pretty out there, but it's right up my alley. Wings Over America by Wings. I think this is a very underrated live album. I don't see a lot of love for this album nowadays, and you can actually find it super cheap. But it's got all the big hits by Wings and even some Paul McCartney Beatles era songs, like a Blackbird and Yesterday. But Jet, Let Me Roll It, Maybe I'm Amazed, Lady Madonna, Live and Let Die, Band on the Run, Let 'Em In, all those are on here. And my favorite song is Medicine Jar, which is actually by that young fella over there, Jimmy McCulloch, who tragically passed away a few years after this. But yeah, Wings Over America. The Allman Brothers Band, live from A&R Studios, August 26th, 1971. Oh, I got that date right. This was released in 2016. I think I got the red vinyl version. Yeah, I did. But I'm assuming a lot of people are going to put on At Fillmore East into their live concert entry. So I figured I'd go with this one, because it's a little different. A lot of people don't know about this one because At Fillmore East is probably the best live recording, or one of the best ever. So I think this one, since it came out so recent, a lot of people aren't really hip to it. But notably, this is missing Whippin' Post, which is kind of bizarre. But it does have Stormy Monday, it does have In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, it's got One Way Out, which the original At Fillmore East didn't have. I think that was on Eat a Peach. Don't Keep Me Wondering, Statesboro Blues, Trouble No More, You Don't Love Me and Soul Serenade, and a couple other songs. But yeah, I think this album is just awesome. And finally, for the last of my favorite live albums that I could think of at this very moment, we have The Last Waltz by the band. So this is the band's farewell concert in 1976, and they're joined on stage by Paul Butterfield, Eric Clapton, Neil Diamond, Bob Dylan, Emmylou Harris, Ronnie Hawkins, Dr. John, Van Morrison, the Staple Singers, Ringo Starr, Muddy Waters, Ron Wood, and Neil Young, and Joni Mitchell too. And this album, the sweet songs they do, like The Last Waltz, the title song, is beautiful, and then they go into the more rockin' songs by the band. I Shall Be Released is pretty flawless. That might bring a tear to your eye. Richard Manuel's vocals are amazing, absolutely incredible. Robbie Robertson is a hell of a songwriter, and yeah, it's awesome. The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, another great song. Don't Do It, but the standout track on this song, and I hate to be one of a million people who know the song and whatnot, is The Wait. And I think the version on this, the electric guitar version with the Staple Singers sharing vocals, is leagues ahead of the acoustic studio version released in '68. So yeah, the band The Last Waltz. The next thing is share a concert experience that you've had. If you've never been to a live concert, maybe mention a live concert you've watched on television or DVD. Well, I've been to a bunch of live concerts. And sharing one experience is difficult because there's just a lot. But I'm going to have to go with a year ago, yesterday actually, I left the comfort of my place in Houston, Texas, to travel 13 hours to Roskilde, Denmark, to go to Roskilde Festival, which is a music festival being headlined by Arcade Fire, Margot Price, Ice Cube, Foo Fighters, and a bunch of other people. I really wanted to go for the experience because I've known about the music festival for about like 10 years because I skate and they have a skate park there and I saw it in skate videos and always wanted to go. So finally the opportunity came up. I asked some friends if they wanted to go. They were totally down. So we went, and the music festival was 8 days long. So it was like 4 days of partying and just going nuts, and then 4 days of partying with music. So the warm-up days were insane, and then the next 4 days were awesome, but it was exhilarating, and it was tough. I didn't like a lot of the food. It was freezing, it rained, but now the people I really wanted to go see were Arcade Fire, who've been one of my favorite groups for the past, I don't know, like maybe 8 or 10 years. And they were playing, I believe, the final day at night, and I waited all day in line so I could be in the pit, and I was the closest person in the corner to them, and they were up above me right there, I mean like maybe 10 feet away, and it was amazing, breathtaking, because I know behind me there was, 120, 100,000 other people, but I was the closest one to one of my favorite bands, and they played a insanely good set, and it was fantastic. I mean, all the rain, all the mud, all the bad food, we almost got our tent robbed, we were malnourished, we couldn't really shower because there was cold water in the showers, and we didn't want to shower because it was freezing cold outside with freezing cold water, and just all of this stuff at that point was gone. It was all overshadowed, and it was fantastic. One of the best times of my life. Those 8 days at that music festival, loved it. And then the third thing is, what band or artist do you wish you could have seen live but will never get the chance to because either they broke up or a member has passed away or they no longer tour? There's a bunch. Joy Division, New Order with Peter Hook in the group, but 3 that really stand out are Chicago with Terry Kath. I have seen Chicago without Terry Kath, but I mean the original 70s Chicago with Terry Kath, Peter Cetera, Danny Seraphine, all them. The Rolling Stones with Mick Taylor, so the 69 to 74 era, preferably like 72, 73. I'd like to sit in on that tour. And I would also have to include Lynyrd Skynyrd, the 1976 to 77 era with Steve Gaines, Alan Collins, and Gary Rosington on guitar, with Ronnie singing and Artemis Pyle on drums, Billy Powell on keys, and Leon Wilkeson on bass. That would be another one that I would really like to go see. Unfortunately, will not be able to because Gary Rosington's the only one left playing, and Artemis Pyle is a bit of a loon. So yeah, there's my entry, and I'm going to leave a link to your channel down below so people can go check it out. The Vinylverse, he just got 100 subs. This is his contest entry. He's got a great taste in music, makes some great videos, so go check it out at the link below.